Alex Carter had always cherished the quiet life on his 40-acre ranch. The sprawling fields, creaking fences, and dusty trails had been in his family for generations, a legacy passed down from his father. One crisp morning, while sipping coffee on the porch, Alex noticed unfamiliar machinery clearing brush along the northern fence line. Confused, he squinted at the men in hard hats moving with authority across his property. "What the hell is going on here?" he shouted as he strode toward them. One worker glanced up, shrugging. "We're building a community center. HOA says you're part of the project." Alex froze. "Part of what project?" "My land is private. My family has owned it for over 50 years. They laughed. "The HOA president approved it. You'll get your notice later." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. He ran inside to retrieve property deeds and tax records. Everything clearly showed that his ranch had never belonged to the HOA. Yet, the workers, armed with machinery and apparent legal backing, refused to leave. By noon, stakes were in the ground, concrete poured, and construction materials stacked along the fence line. Alex knew confrontation alone wouldn't stop them, but calling the local authorities didn't help either. The sheriff, after a brief visit, shrugged and said he couldn't intervene until legal counsel clarified ownership. It was infuriating. The HOA was brazenly encroaching on private property, assuming that paperwork and intimidation would scare him into submission. Alex stepped back, gripping the deeds in his hands. He realized one thing: the HOA was testing him, daring him to fight. And Alex had never been one to back down when his family's legacy was at stake. Determined to confront the HOA, Alex went to the county records office. After hours of digging, he discovered a shocking truth: the HOA had altered official maps to make it appear that his ranch was within their jurisdiction. Someone had falsified property lines, and the HOA board was trying to cover it up with their new community project. When Alex returned, he confronted Linda Merrow, the HOA president, at the construction site. "This is my land. You have no right to build here," he said, holding up the deeds. Linda smirked. "You're just a rancher. You don't understand community rules. You'll see, there's nothing you can do." Her words only fueled his anger. The board had poured concrete, delivered materials, and even started laying foundations. They assumed that the combination of bureaucratic intimidation and physical presence would force him to surrender. Alex took pictures, documented every trespass, and even recorded videos of the workers admitting they were acting under HOA orders. Meanwhile, the HOA board continued mocking him, confident that their self-made authority would hold. But Alex had a plan. He wasn't just going to fight this with words. He knew he had to combine legal power with the physical readiness to defend his property. Alex called in reinforcements: his cousins, longtime ranch hands, and neighbors who had grown up respecting the land. They gathered at the ranch that evening, reviewing maps, property titles, and historic photographs of the land. Every document confirmed what Alex already knew: the HOA had zero legal claim. As night fell, the ranchers discussed strategy. The lawyer Alex had hired confirmed it all: trespassing, destruction of property, and falsifying records were on the table. A case could be made, and restitution demanded, but Alex wanted immediate action. The next morning, the construction crews returned, unaware that Alex's reinforcements were ready. They had no idea how seriously the ranchers took protecting what was theirs. Tension hung thick in the air. Every truck moving toward the fence line was met with steely gazes and careful positioning. Alex and his team were calm but unyielding. They had the law, history, and experience on their side. If the HOA wanted to test them, it would be a lesson the board never forgot. By dawn, Alex and a dozen ranchers arrived at the site, legally carrying firearms to assert control over their private land. Shotguns and rifles glinted in the early sunlight, but everyone was composed, silent, and deliberate. The HOA workers froze. Foreman Mark stammered into his phone, calling for guidance as Alex approached with property deeds in hand. Linda Merrow arrived shortly after, yelling about community rights. Alex calmly handed her the trespass notice, damage assessment, and legal documentation. Her face paled. For the first time, the confident facade cracked. The workers began retreating, dragging equipment with them. Merrow's voice rose to a scream, then faltered into sobs. She realized she had overstepped, that this was not a negotiation she could win with threats or paperwork manipulation. The ranchers remained firm. Not a word more was needed. Their presence and preparation spoke volumes. The HOA was no longer in control. Within days, Alex's lawyer filed official complaints against the HOA for trespassing, fraud, and destruction of property. Under scrutiny, several board members resigned. Merrow herself faced potential criminal charges. The HOA was forced to remove all construction, restore Alex's land, and pay restitution. Workmen who had once mocked Alex now respected the rancher who refused to be intimidated. Standing in the sun, surveying his reclaimed land, Alex felt a mixture of relief and vindication. He had defended not just property but principle. Some people only learn respect when faced with someone unwilling to back down, and Alex Carter had just delivered that lesson in a way they would never forget.